Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Deb Sofield, and you're listening to my weekly podcast series called Encouragement for Your Life. Most of you know I'm a national speaker, trainer, and coach. I like to say I help people find their voice and learn to use it. I'm also a conference speaker on the topics of public speaking, presentation skills, how to deal with the media, and crisis communication. I've got a number of other presentations on my website if you'd like to check those out. If your organization has an upcoming conference and you need a keynote speaker, I hope you'll reach out at debsofield.com. I would love to be a part. I've got a number of great books on the market. My best-selling book, Speak Without Fear. My book, Perfecting Your Platform. Both of those are on Amazon and Audible if you like to listen to books. And my series, Encouragement for Your Life, which is a compilation of these podcasts, they're available on Amazon, volumes 1 through 3. Just go into Amazon, type in my name, Deb Sofield, all my books will appear. I've got a great show for today, and I'm calling it Harness Your Power. I'm Deb Sofield. Thanks for joining me. Stay tuned. We'll get started with today's show. Recently, I was reading a review about Laird Hamilton's life that'll be seen in an upcoming documentary called Take Every Wave. Laird is a legendary big wave surfing star who, according to the write-up, is as polarizing as he is acclaimed. I knew a little bit about who he was from a magazine article and his one-time marriage to volleyball star Gabrielle Reese. So in reading the write-up, I actually was curious how he pushed himself to set aside his fear of the water and the waves and the sharks and whatever else lurks in the ocean to become the master of the elements. In the article, he talks about being able to harness his power to overcome obstacles in his life. Yeah, it got me thinking about the value of learning to harness our power as we move forward into the life that we want and many of us dream of. There is something wonderfully amazing woven into the idea of harnessing our power into a stream of strength that, by its own force, cannot be broken by anyone on the outside. And thinking about harnessing our power, I have to wonder what would happen if we stopped going in 10 different directions and focused on one big idea and then harnessed all our energy and power and strength and mental capacity to make that idea or dream or concept a reality. There's a famous quote that states, "Forget about the fast lane. If you really want to fly, just harness your power to your passion." The problem with that idea is this. If you're like me, you've got about 30 different passions that you hope will all move in the same speed, same direction at the same time. So maybe one thing on your list and mine would be a success. I'm speaking to myself here as I wonder out loud about what would happen if I set aside the extra things I do and simply harness my power and focus on one big thing. Now, that leads me to another difficulty, which is I'm not sure which of my 30 big ideas I want to harness my mind around to see it get to the end. I'm guessing you might be in the same boat with me on this idea. Sometimes I think my life slogan should be so many great ideas, so few hours in the day. That's the best excuse I have for not being great at being harnessed to one thing. And the truth is, as Stephen Covey said, I'm not a product of my circumstances. I'm a product of my decisions. Come on, we all are. And if truth were told, I bet we all like the idea of options in case the thing we're working on doesn't work out as planned. That being said, maybe I need to rethink my thinking and follow the advice of Robin Sharma when he says, push yourself to do more and to experience more. Harness your energy to start expanding your dreams. Yes, expand your dreams. Don't accept a life of mediocrity when you hold such infinite potential within the fortress of your mind. Listener, dare to tap into your greatness. Pretty sure we all agree that to be successful, we need to push ourselves daily to do the work that needs to be done. Listen, nothing's going to be handed to you as much as you're hoping it would be. I believe our life goals should be more than the everyday work we do that puts food on the table. Well, that's a blessing unto itself. I would venture to guess that many of you believe you were made for more than just punching a time clock, even if you love your job. I believe in achieving the dreams we have not told anyone about, or the dreams that we have posted on our computer, which reminds us that we are more than our cubicle or office chair, and we need to change our thinking and be focused enough to harness our mental capacity. Then, we need to concentrate that harnessed energy into our dreams and couple that power with what we have from this new source of power to make our dreams, hopes, and desires come true for ourselves and our families. Harnessing all our power is not an easy thing to do. So it's rare to find someone who does it well and with balance. We all know those few friends who do nothing outside their drive for work to the detriment of their health and family and community. And while the image of the no-sleep, 18-hour deal maker was fun to watch in the movies, that type of physical neglect can be damaging in real life. So recently, I've been keeping track of my time spent surfing the web, reading blog posts and Twitter feeds, commenting on Facebook, and believe it or not, when I added it up, an hour or more is gone. Now listen, I like to keep up and watch what friends are doing as much as the next person, but I've learned to limit my time online or hours will slip by with nothing gained but a feel-good like or a smiley face. If I harnessed the time I waste daily, goodness gracious, there is no telling what I could accomplish. I believe we all need to be reminded of a few big ideas for achievement using the theme of harnessing our power for success. The full quote that I gave a few minutes ago is this: "Forget about the fast lane. If you really want to fly, harness your power to your passion. Honor your calling. Everybody has one. Trust your heart and success will come to you." So I want to use that quote as a jumping off point to encourage you to not only find your passion, but also how to dust it off and figure out how to bring it back to life. For years, I had a great little picture of a girl on my computer, and she's standing in the rain, and her arms are outstretched, and she appears to be screaming at the top of her lungs. And the quote at the bottom of the picture is this: "Remember her? She's still there, inside you, waiting. Let's go get her." I love that picture because that is who most of us were at one time in our lives. Arms wide open, defying the rain, speaking our truth, not worrying about what others thought of us, just living out loud with no worries or regret. I wonder what it would take in your life to do that once again, to harness that childlike freedom, energy, and vision that you left behind when the world told you who you were supposed to be, so you could regain the power you lost or gave away at some point in your life. Another reason I believe we need to harness our power is because when we harness the power of light and focus the beam, we release a blast of light into the world. I've mentioned in my blog posts for years now that you were not made to hide your light. You were created to live a life that lights the world for others. Friend, you need to shine as best you can in this dark world, simply to lead others to safety. Let's go one step further. Let me remind you that you need to fan your lighted flame to warm the hearts and souls of others. As you watch the world around you, if there was ever a time to be a beacon of light against the storm of life that pounds our friends and family, that time is now. I also wonder, if you do not release your light into the world, who will? As a leader in your company, community, and country, hey, I encourage you to find out how to harness your power and focus your beam to light the world. One of my favorite motivational speakers was the great Zig Ziglar, and he was known for his down-home style that pretty much packed a punch of reality so we could see through the mess that many of us made in our lives to find a path forward for success. I love his quote. He says this: "I don't care how much power, brilliance, or energy you have, if you don't harness it and focus it on a specific target and hold it there, you are never going to accomplish as much as your ability warrants." As much as your ability warrants. What a great line that encourages us to harness what we already have and just use it, not just to light the way for others, but for ourselves. I don't do well with waiting. Most of us don't. I want things to happen quickly so I can move on to the next big thing. But the truth is that sometimes success takes a while. And it is the wisdom of a steady hand that waits for the specific target or opportunity to come into view before any movement can be made. Like, the truth of the matter is that timing is everything. And as much as I hate to admit that, like you, I've got story after story when I didn't do my part and wait for the right time. Oh, I've pushed against the closed, locked doors and demanded to be let in, only to crash and burn because I was not prepared. Had nothing to do with my power, my brilliance, my energy. Had everything to do with my lack of harnessed knowledge to complete the task. Looking forward, I am now zeroed in on the targets I have set, and I am holding out for the right time to make them come to fruition. I want to close with this well-known line from David Brooks. Almost every successful person begins with two beliefs. The future can be better than the present, and I have the power to make it so. And I will add that we all have the power to make anything happen in our lives if we will work for it and if we will harness the power we have and simply use our power for good. All right, you've been listening to Deb Sofield's Encouragement for Your Life, and I hope you'll join me next week because I want to continue this journey of harnessing your power so, friend, you do great things in the world and we make the world a better place. Remember, Deb doesn't care what the world says about you. I want you to know I care about you because I believe if you will simply slow down, focus, harness your power, there is nothing that will stop you. And here's my promise. I will walk alongside you as we follow your dream of outrageous success together. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me. Come back next week, same time, same place. Take care.